I wake up and my name is no longer neutral. I am Mesut Özil, World Cup winner, German international, and now the man who posed for a photo with President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan before the 2018 World Cup. It already happened. London. A camera. A handshake. İlkay Gündoğan signed a shirt. To my president with respect. I stood beside him. By morning the image was everywhere in Germany. Not sports pages. Front pages. The timing made it worse. Erdoğan was in the middle of an election campaign. European leaders were criticizing him for authoritarianism. And I was weeks away from representing Germany on the world's biggest stage. The German Football Association did not suspend me. They did not defend me either. They issued statements about values. The word loyalty began attaching itself to my name, followed by doubt. Then the World Cup collapsed. Group stage exit. Historic failure. I missed chances. I was whistled by my own supporters in warm-up matches. After the elimination cameras stayed on me longer than on anyone else. The word scapegoat floated through interviews. It didn't need to be said directly. When we win, I am German. When we lose, I am an immigrant. I wrote that weeks later when I announced my retirement from the national team at 29. 3 statements. No ambiguity. I accused the DFB of discrimination. The relationship ended publicly. Completely. Now when I enter a room in Germany, conversations pause half a second too long. Sponsors speak carefully. Reporters choose their verbs with surgical precision. Doors still open, but slower. At Arsenal, my form declines. Every bad performance is connected back to that photo, as if one image rewired my feet. I did not break a law. I did not fail a doping test. I stood in a picture. And now my name carries politics into every stadium before I arrive. The scandal is over. The consequences are not. I wake up and check my phone before I check the time. 6 missed calls from my agent. 2 from the club. 1 from a number I recognize as the DFB media office, even though I retired months ago. I don't call them back. Instead, I open Twitter. My name is trending again, not for a goal. A journalist has republished the photo with Erdoğan. Anniversary piece, where it all began. I am still where it began. At 9 a.m., I'm scheduled for a sponsor appearance in London. Contract signed before the World Cup collapse. They debated canceling. They didn't. Money still overrides discomfort. In the car, my PR manager briefs me again. No politics. No mention of Germany. If asked about identity, pivot to football units people. Smile. Keep answers under 20 seconds. I nod. At the venue, the handshake line is shorter than it used to be. Executives introduce themselves carefully. They emphasize diversity more than necessary. A reporter slips into the crowd. Do you regret the meeting with President Erdoğan? There it is. Always the same phrasing. Meeting, not photo. President, not politician. I pause longer than PR would like. I don't regret meeting people, I say. Neutral sentence. Headline. By noon, Özil shows. No regret. My phone vibrates before the event ends. 3 messages from PR to direct. We'll issue clarification. I don't authorize one. On the way back, I tell my agent to set up an interview. Not with a sports outlet, with a political magazine. Silence on the line. That's not advisable, he says. DFB will respond. They already did, I say. They just stopped talking. By afternoon, Arsenal training. I arrive early. Cameras outside the gates. There weren't cameras yesterday. Inside teammates greet me normally. But normal now has edges. The manager pulls me aside. Anything I should know, he asks. He means, are you about to say something that becomes my problem? I'm doing an interview, I say. He exhales slowly. Just football, Mesut. Just football. I train harder than usual. I shoot from distance. I don't usually. Every miss feels symbolic. I can see tomorrow's articles forming mid-air. After training, I don't leave through the back exit. PR prefers that. Today, I walk through the front. Microphones appear instantly. Do you feel German? Did the DFB treat you unfairly? Are you aligning yourself with Turkish politics? I answer one question. I feel what I feel, I say. That becomes Özil questions German identity again. By evening, the club communications director calls. Headlines are escalating, he says. Sponsors are nervous. We need alignment. Alignment. I ask him what that means. It means less ambiguity, he says. It means fewer open sentences. So I post something deliberate, not political. A photo of me at dinner with my family. Caption: home is where you are understood. Within minutes, it is dissected. German commentators call it coded. Turkish outlets call it defiant. British tabloids call it cryptic. It is a photograph of soup. My agent calls again. You're feeding it, he says. I'm eating, I reply. Silence. Later that night, I draft a longer statement. Not to defend, not to apologize, to describe. How the DFB distanced itself when pressure rose. How being a World Cup winner did not protect me from becoming conditional. I don't post it. Not yet. I understand something now. The power isn't in scoring. It isn't in endorsements. It's in the fact that a single sentence from me can move markets, trigger federations, reopen debates about race and loyalty in Germany. That power is unstable. It will fade when my performances decline further, when another scandal replaces mine. So today I stretch it. I answer without softening. I refuse the back exit. I decline the clarification. Nothing illegal, nothing dramatic, just small refusals to behave safely. And the system reacts every time. PR drafts statements I didn't approve. Journalists fill in meanings I didn't offer. Institutions prepare responses to words I haven't said. Truth bends the moment it leaves my mouth. Not because it is false, because it is mine. By midnight, my name is trending again. Not for what I did, for what I might mean. I turn off my phone. Tomorrow they will still be waiting for a version of me that makes them comfortable. I'm not sure that version exists anymore. The house is quiet. It wasn't always like this. There used to be noise after matches, messages, praise, criticism about football. Now the noise feels different, slower, heavier, political. I sit at the kitchen table and scroll through the day, as if it belongs to someone else. Headlines reshape my sentences. Pundits debate my identity like it's a tactical error. Clips of that photo with Erdoğan replay under studio lights again and again, as if repetition might change the outcome. I think about the cost. I was 29 when I left the German national team. A World Cup winner at 25. A liability at 29. Nothing about my left foot changed, but the frame around me did. Fame used to feel like access. Now it feels like surveillance. Every word is pre-interpreted. Every silence is strategic. Every appearance is measured against a political temperature I don't control. I have influence.
I know that. A sentence from me can reopen debates about race in Germany, about loyalty, about belonging. But that influence doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like standing on thin ice that everyone is watching. If I speak, it cracks. If I stay quiet, they describe the silence for me. Power looks different from the outside. From here, it is conditional.
Sponsors stay as long as discomfort stays manageable. Clubs defend as long as performance compensates. Federations support as long as image aligns. The support was never permanent. It was rented. And now the rent has increased. I think about tomorrow. Training, interviews avoided, careful answers, normal routines. I will return to normal. But Mesut Özil does not. The name carries the photo forever, carries the statement, "When we win, I am German. When we lose, I am an immigrant." Carries the fracture with the DFB, carries the suspicion. Reputation isn't an event, it's a condition. It enters rooms first. It edits conversations before they begin. Today, I pushed against it, answered without softening, refused to retreat. It felt almost powerful. But I know the truth. I get to step away from this life at the end of the day. Close the laptop. Turn off the phone. Let the name fade back into abstraction. He doesn't. He wakes up as it. Every headline attaches permanently. Every misstep compounds. Every neutral action risks ignition. It was easy to borrow the weight for a day, to test its edges, to observe the machinery react. Living inside it indefinitely is different. The machine never sleeps. I set my phone face down. Tomorrow, I return to myself. He remains here balanced between countries, between narratives, between acceptance and suspicion. Power was never stable. It was permission. And permission can be withdrawn at any moment. This video is a fictional satirical thought experiment. It does not represent the real thoughts, intentions, or private life of Mesut Özil. The narrative is an imagined perspective, created for storytelling purposes only. The purpose of this piece is social commentary, exploring themes of fame, scandal, power, media framing, and public perception. It is not a biography, a factual account, or an accusation of any kind. All events referenced are publicly known, but the internal reflections and personal experiences depicted are entirely fictional.